Hello YouTube, this is Out123 and today we're going to be taking a look at my top 10 trains of all time. And in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the trains that you've seen already on YouTube and on this channel, and we're also going to be taking a look at some that I haven't yet featured or put on the channel at all. And this video is a big thank you to all the 100 people who have subscribed to Out123, and I know there's a few more as well there, but I've got some really great subscribers and this is for you guys, so thank you very much everybody. The actual idea for this video came from Pullen and his channel, so thank you very much Aid. I'll be putting a little link to your channel down below, and if you're not subscribed to his channel, please go and check it out and subscribe. He's done some great videos and he's one of the people who really has helped me in making the channel what it is today. And I think it's time we now had a look at what trains I have put as my top 10. And at number 10 it's the GBRF 66 Class Blue Lightning. One of my all-time favourite trains. It's my first large diesel that I ever got. And I looked at a Hornby catalogue, I don't know if I've said this story before, and I went down a list of all the locos and saw it when they're all sort of put sideways like that, and I thought, yeah, this looks like a nice loco. And then happened to find it was the only large loco they had in the model shop I went in, which is sort of fate really when you think about it, and then I ended up buying it. It's not as good as the Backman one, but I think it's really, really nice. It's driven not from that end, from this end. It's got I say 3D lights, if you know what I mean. They're not just like painted on. They are slightly curved. All the running number and all that on the front you can clearly see, and then that's also a huge running number on the side and a little plaque that says Blue Lightning, which I don't think the camera's going to be able to pick up on, but yeah, this is the first loco in the top 10, and I really like the livery. It's a loco I've had for probably 5, maybe even longer than that, probably 6 or 7 years, and it's served me good over those 6 or 7 years. When I first started the layout, it's one that is really, it's one that I have a lot of memories with from being quite young and having this model, and it's certainly one of my favourites. And at the end of the video, or sort of as we go, I'm going to do bits of running sessions with all the locos. And there it is on the track with some yellow Hornby and Tryon coaches. I say Hornby and Tryon because one of them says Tryon on the bottom of it and the rest say Hornby, which gets rather confusing. But yeah, there it is. I haven't run it in a long time, so I don't know what it's going to be like, but let's find out. Still runs as smooth as the day I got it. I mean, look at that. That is just some brilliant, brilliant, brilliant railway modelling. It looks pretty cool, the Class 66. I think that's the first time I've said that actually, oops. Should have really said that at the beginning, it's a Class 66, but oh well. There you see the nice first logo on the front of it as well. Doesn't it run well? And those of you who often criticise Hornby, and I've done it before in the past and said that some of their products aren't good, this is really, for me, this is as good as it gets. I think it's a really, really well thought out model, and the fact it doesn't have directional lighting does not bother me one single bit. Really, really like this train. Great model. And let's go to number 9. And we've just seen a 66, so why not see a 52? This is the Lima version, and I was a little bit concerned about getting one of these because some people said they're good runners and other people said they're not. It does really vary loco to loco really with these. Some of them do run well, some of them don't. And I have had problems with the little blue Lima one that I featured in the last video. That doesn't run as well as this, but this runs absolutely brilliantly. If you've seen the video, Class 52, Beginning of the End I think it's called, then you'll just see how much this thing can pull. It's only driven from one end as well, but it's got traction tyres on the end it's driven from, along with a nice Western Enterprise thing and a nice little crest there, which you can just about see in the light. I love the the front of it just looks brilliant to me. I think that's really nice. No sprung loaded buffers, nothing like that, but a good old fashioned Lima loco, and I can't beat it. I have to say it's probably my favourite Lima model that I have, and I have about 2 or 3. It's really, really nice, and many people said to me about other liveries that it comes in, and I was talking to another YouTuber about it the other day, and I do like the sort of brown livery with the yellow ended front to it, but I do really like this one. It's just completely different and quirky, and that's what I liked about it. And I think without any more yabbering on, let's get this on the track. And something that I'm going to do a bit differently is down below here you see the 2 Pullman coaches. It's going to be pulling those. And there it is on the middle loop, so let's get it underway. And don't them Pullman coaches look great with it? Look at that, what a lineup. Two great models racing around a layout, and you cannot beat entertainment like that. Look at that face to face, brilliant. And you can see how well the Lima 52 holds its own with the Class 66, and this is why it's one of my all-time favourites. And at number 9, got to be a must-have. And now let's move on to number 8. Number 8 is the Model Zone Limited Edition Class 42. So we've seen a 66, a 52 and now 42. It's an absolute cracker of a model. It's just brilliant. It's got the little drivers sitting in the front there. I don't know if you can see them. It's got sprung loaded buffers, it's got directional lighting, it's got cabin lighting. It's driven from either end. It is just an absolute beast of a model. It can pull absolute tons of stuff at any given moment, and if you've got a huge layout, then this is definitely a model you want to consider getting. I did look at the Hornby one, but the Hornby one, it was stickers on the running numbers, and I didn't quite like that feature. It was something that didn't really interest me, so that's why I didn't go with that. But I do really like this one. This is something that I think is a must-have in any model railway collection, and if you can afford it, hunky-dory, it really is nice. I love the yellow ends. I wasn't that convinced on it. I thought it was going to be too bright and colourful, but it really does work so well. And when you look at it from either end, it is a very impressive looking train. And it's from that sort of era of diesels where they're considered classics, really, aren't they? They're sort of the classic diesels that we remember. And another thing, I love the line all the way down here. I mean, I'm not going to call it a racing stripe because that's not right, but almost feels like that. All the little metal panels and details and windscreen wipers, it's just a complete and utter masterpiece. The only downside maybe is that the fans on top aren't really done that nice, but hey ho, can't have everything. But yeah, it's a really, really high quality bit of kit, this. My big pet hate about it, and this is why it isn't higher up, is that shoulder tension lock coupling. It just really annoys me. It's one of them things that really, really gets on my nerves. It's something that I don't know why, but it just is. I think it's because they do decouple quite a lot. But I'm going to run this one with the what should we run it with? I think I'm just going to run it with a mixture of this, that and the other, as if it's just shunting things about the place. And in the end I just settled for some milk carts with it because they look quite nice. There we go. And it's a hell of a lot slower than the 52, but the motor is quieter, but I like the noisy motors, as I did say in the last video I did. Look at that. There's the reverse lighting as well, and all the cabin lighting. Brilliant, brilliant little train, that. And I think it's time now to go to number 7. And my number 7 is the original Hornby Intercity 125. I did do a review of it and it's featured in so many videos now, it's not even funny. One of you did say you wanted to see it in my siding along the back, and I haven't forgot about that. It just hasn't really come up appropriately in a video, so sorry about that, but I will do it. But I just need to find the right video to do it, because I couldn't do it in the last one because it was transcontinental and it would have looked a bit weird just bunging it in there and so on and so forth. So it's going to happen. Don't worry about that anyway. I've got a bit derailed and sidetracked, no pun intended. It's a very nice model. It's got directional lighting in the sense that these light up with little light bulbs in them, but there's no reverse lighting, but I'm not too bothered by that. It runs very, very fast, and I've got the buffet cart and a standard passenger cart to run it with, which have featured also on the channel quite a few times. It's a very nice model, and I'm glad to have it. It's one of the classics. I only paid, this is a shocker, £12 for this particular model, and look at the condition it's in. And this was in the period sort of last year when they weren't worth anything, but they're starting to increase in value again. It's weird, isn't it, how things like that can happen. And yeah, I'm going to start now by showing you this one. The reason I picked this one over the other Intercity one in the other style of livery is because I just like that this is the classic sort of livery for me. I don't particularly like that one in comparison to this. I mean, I like it in its own way, but this for me is the livery. So let's take it over to the layout and see what it can do. Right then, and there it is, so let's get it going. Full power, why not? And it can sure go pretty fast when it wants to. Look at that. Zooming past. And now it's time to move on to number 6, I think. And number 6 is another classic Backman loco, the Class 37, one of my all-time favourites. The thing that I never really understood about this is the switches on and off for the directional lighting. If you're going to have it, why would you want it off? I just don't get that. It's driven from both ends. It's got, obviously, as you know, directional lighting. All the lights on the front light up. It's very heavy, and boy has it got some pulling power, very impressive. And unlike the 42 that I showed you at the beginning, this one has got the better grille and the better vents on the top, which just brings it up a notch for me. But yeah, one of my favourite locos, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. Took a lot of finding though, because it was a discontinued one from Backman, so you try and find a discontinued product from Backman, it takes absolutely ages. It eventually came from a toy fair, and it wasn't a ridiculous amount of money. It was about the price you would have probably paid for it new, and it is in mint condition. Sprung loaded buffers as well. The Backman logo is somewhere there, but you won't be able to see it, I don't think. It's upside down. There we are. Just about... no, it's not going to pick up on that. So let's get this over to the layout. And I don't hold out a lot of hope for it staying coupled up, but we can give it a go. Five really is flying round now. Here it comes though. Number 6 in the collection. And now it's time to see what you voted. Well, I say what you voted, what I said is number 5. And number 5, and this is going to make a lot of people very happy, is the Triang Blue Pullman. And, well, why not? I mean, the Backman one, I saw that first and thought, that's nice. And then when I saw the Triang one, the charm of it is just, it's just unbelievable. It really is a nice model. It's something that, if you didn't have, you really need to get. It is a must-have in anybody's collection. The custard dipped one with the yellow ends, I do not like that at all, really, if I'm honest. I like the reverse livery one, that's quite different and nice. But this is, for me, the one that really stood out and the one that I wanted. And if you have it, then comment below, which one do you prefer, Backman or the classic Triang one? It's driven from the front, and it's got the same motor in it as sort of a Doc Shantha would have, that style of motor. It's very weighty at the top end, and the carriages are so light, it's not even funny, but it is just an absolute masterpiece of a model. And I got this in the train set, and there you can see the box artwork. Why can't we have train sets like that nowadays? I mean, look at that, that is just absolutely superb. Absolutely fabulous model, and we're going to see it running on the layout very, very shortly. To do that, we're going to have to say goodbye to the noisy 125. And there it is, a real classic model, and if you made it this far, then you are going to be really impressed by this. So, without any further ado, let's get it running. And for those of you who know me on YouTube, you know I used to use a Hornby 2000 controller. This actually runs better on the old controller than it does on the Hornby 2000, and I think that does sort of show a little bit about these locos. But doesn't it look brilliant? It's so nice to have a different sort of blue livery, and oh, it's just really, really nice. And the blue Pullman is just one of them trains that, a bit like the Flying Scotsman, is just synonymous with class and elegance. And it's a shame that there's none of them around today. And now let's move on to number 4. And number 4 is my mainline Royal Scot, and this is just an absolute gem of a model. It's made in Hong Kong, and I haven't had any locos made by mainline before this model, apart from that mystery one. And yeah, it's really, really nice. LMS livery. I can't really think of much to say about it because it's driven from the loco. But when I got it, I was really sceptical because I don't really know much about mainline, and I don't really. When I bought it, the man said to me, they can either be really good or they can just not work at all. And this, fortunately, is one that is an absolute gem. It runs smoothly, it can keep going and going and going, and it just battles through anything. A bit of a strange feature, though, is that the tension lock coupling on the front has a spring in it. There, I don't know if you can see that the copper coloured piece there. I don't know why they ever did that. And the actual front wheels are sprung to keep them on the track. So that's a bit of a clever feature, that, because how many times have you had an old loco or a new loco that derails with the front following wheels or trailing wheels? I'm not really sure what they're called. But it is, yeah, it's a really, really nice loco, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. And we're going to have it running with this Royal Mail coach down below. That does mean we're going to have to get rid of the 37, which is quite disappointing because it's really running well with those coaches. And off it goes. And you can just see how good a runner it is. And there goes the Pullman, the blue Pullman. Oh dear, that was a fail. Now we're going to get down to the nitty gritty, the top 3 locos. And number 3 is the Class 40 by Jelf, and I was talking to another YouTuber the other day, Mark Filcher, and his channel is really good. It's one of the up and coming ones, and I'd really appreciate it, and so would he if you went to his channel and checked it out. He's new to YouTube, and well, he, like me, is looking to always expand his channel, and I really like the videos he's doing. He loves trying, and he loves just trying stuff, so go and check out his channel because it really is worth looking at. Okay, and if you're watching, Mark, thanks very much for your comments. So yeah, this is the Jelf Class 40 or G or whatever you want to call it. It's a really lovely model. It runs so well. The lighting in the front of it is brilliant. I really like it. It's something that has, well, I never bought a gel for loco until this one. It cost me £25 and it is in such good nick for 25. The wheels are a bit a little bit fiddly, but once you get them on, unlike the more modern versions of this model, they stay on and it just keeps going and going and going. It is a real quality model, real high quality model, and it's so high quality I'm just going to run it on its own when we go over to the layout. I don't think it needs anything with it. The only issue I'm going to have though is it's not going to be able to go around the middle loop, so I think we're going to have to say a prematurely early goodbye to the Royal Scot, and we're going to have to just replace it with this one. So let's take it over to the layout and see what it can do. And here we go. And for an older loco, it's got some really good slow speed performance. Have a look at this. It can tick along with the best of them. And now it's time to go to number 2, and this really is now getting to the nitty gritty. And number 2, how could it not be my Transcontinental diesel? It's an absolutely lovely model, and bearing in mind I only paid a £10 note for this model. It really is, well, it's been battered and beaten if you look at this side. The bars are missing, but it's one of them real models that is just, to me, it's a classic because it's so different and quirky. And I'm one of the people who really likes English locos, as you've seen from this countdown. But this really catches my eye, and when it's got its full array of coaches, I think it looks spectacular. And I think it's one of those that's really hard to beat. Apart from, obviously, there is one that beats it, and we'll be getting to that very shortly. But first, let's see this brood of a loco running around the layout. I love the noise it makes as well. It's just a really all-round nice model. And I think it's time to reveal what my number 1 loco of all time is. And just bear in mind, this isn't actual real trains, this is just the models, obviously. And before I reveal it, it's a model that has appeared on the channel in several videos. It's a train that is well known for being very reliable and very different. It is something that has had something like 8 variations of it, which I have 7 of. It's a model that is made by Triang, and it's something that has the word authority written on the side of it. Does anybody know what it is? It's of course the Doc Shantha. And well, how could it not be the Doc Shantha? If you remember when the channel started all those months ago, I had the Doc Shantha, the line that I started this video with, as the artwork for the channel. It is just an absolute wonderful model. And why have I picked this one? This was my first ever Doc Shantha and my first taste of a Triang model, and I absolutely love it to bits. The little light in the front, no sprung loaded buffers, no cabin detail, but it is just absolutely charming and utterly brilliant. It's never conked out on me, it's never died on me. It's been so reliable, and it always comes out well after a service. The paintwork on it is absolutely incredible for something of its time, in my opinion. I love the word Stock Authority written on the side of number 3. And underneath, it may not be anything really that special, but to me it is my favourite loco of all time. So let's take it over to the layout and get it running. And off it goes. The little light in the front is brilliant, and that is just pretty much everything I can say today, guys. Thank you very much, AD Pullen. I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. And thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I've got some really nice people who always leave comments on all of my videos, and I never thought it would come to this. I really didn't. I thought it was going to be, maybe I'd get 10 or 20 subscribers, but to get to 100 is more than I was ever expecting. And thank you so much, everybody who has subscribed. And thank you to everybody who's given me shout outs and has helped me along the way. I've really appreciated it. And hopefully you've enjoyed watching the videos. And the #1 train has to be the Doc Shantha. I know some people aren't going to like that, but oh well, it's a freelance loco and I think it's absolutely brilliant. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video, which is going to be a trying running session. So hope you enjoy that, and then after that we're going to have an Ertl collection update. So see you later, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye. And what's your favourite model? Comment below. Thank you very much.